king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, 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 let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, 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 you're never gonna let me down. 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 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, 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 and you're never gonna let me down. 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 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh.
He is good. He is the king of my heart, and he will never let me down. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM family, and welcome to another episode of Faith Matters with me, Mnena. It is always a pleasure to come on and reflect with you all on just how we're being Christ's hands and feet. Good evening, all. I appreciate you taking the time to join me this evening on the show. It's always a pleasure to come on and just reflect. Faith Matters is a platform where we reflect and talk about our daily Christian walk. Well, I do most of the talking. And just see how we're being Christ's hands and feet, or how I'm applying my faith just into to my daily life. We're called to be Christian 24/7. So again, good evening to family and friends who've joined us on YouTube and Facebook, and of course those who are streaming on newseasonfm.com. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, Sister Laura, all the way from Kenya. Wow. When that happened. But good evening. Good morning in Kenya. Hi, Sister Annie. Yeah. Thank you, Randu. Thank you for coming on. Rev, good evening. Thank you for coming on this evening and just joining in. And for those who are on, but I can't really tell, I do acknowledge you, and I want to say thank you for joining in tonight. Again, Faith Matters is just a platform where we talk about how we're being Christ's hands and feet. It's not a walk in the park. It's not a walk in the park. It is a worthwhile journey. Good evening, Brother Donovan. It is a journey that is definitely worth it. So it's not an easy road, but it is worth it. And so the whole idea is just encouraging one another and seeing how we can be Christ-like 24/7, because that's the whole deal. That's the whole deal. It's not just a Sunday deal. It's not just a once a week kind of thing. It is every single day, every second of our lives. Before we jump into it, I want to take the time to thank our supporters. I want to thank our sponsors, those who tirelessly support us financially, and of course with your prayers as well. We really do appreciate you. Your financial support goes a long way in just helping with the day-to-day activities, the day-to-day running of the radio station. I know that we would not be able to do this without your help. So thank you. Thank you so much. From the bottom of our hearts, I speak for the entire team. We are extremely grateful for your support of the radio station. And the different ways to support financially, of course, are Cash App. For Cash App, it's the $ New Season WC. That's the $ New Season WC. Of course, you can do so through Zelle as well. For Zelle, it's 954-536-1821. You can go straight to our website, newseasonfm.com. You can click on the give/donate button, and it'll take you right to the page where you're able to give. It's easy that way. If you're a PayPal person, of course, you can go through PayPal. For PayPal, it is wordmusic47. That's wordmusic47 at hotmail.com. That's wordmusic, the number 47 at hotmail.com. That's PayPal. And of course, if any of those don't work for you, we definitely accept checks. We do accept checks. Just make a check out to us here, mail it out to 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. Again, that's 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. So jumping into it, take the time to share the broadcast, like it, invite someone to come on. There might still be a few nuggets that you could possibly take away from that. I think people still do use Western Union. I'm not exactly sure if domestically they do, but I know that Western Union, for sure, international, is still a thing. Possibly maybe domestic still as well. I'm not too sure about that, but that's a good question. But yes, so if you're just coming in, you're inside. Faith Matters with me, Mnena, just reflecting on our daily Christian life. I'll just be sharing from my personal reflection page. It's just from things that happened to me and how I view them from a faith lens. And that's the whole idea, because we're supposed to constantly be in that faith mode. We're supposed to constantly don on our garment of Christianity. That's right. It's something we need to look into. Western Union could also be another way to donate. That's very true. Good evening, Sister Joylet. Thank you for coming on tonight. So again, this is Faith Matters with me. Counting my days, of course, it's 296. We are on day 296, meaning we only have 69 days left. 69. There's only 69 days left in this year. Where are you at? What goal have you set for yourself? What do you want to achieve or accomplish before the year is out? I already said and shared my plans or my hope for achieving something before the year is out. So you guys already know the cat's out of the bag. And like I said, I will be sharing more details as the time draws closer, but I'm working on it. But it's happening. It's happening. So working on that. So where are you at? You don't want to get to the end of the year and be like, oh my goodness, I've got nothing. And you're just, okay, maybe I still have time. You probably, you can't say there's no time, but there's no time like now. There's no time like the present. Now is the time to get up and say, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to try something. I'm going to go for that which I was fearful of, and I'm going to do it. I don't mind whatever it takes. I will just really suck it up and do it. So just do it. Nike got it right. I say it all the time. Nike got it right. Just do it. Today's the day that counts. Don't wait till tomorrow. Take it from a procrastinator. You can't be pushing it till tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. Because when tomorrow comes, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And before you know it, you end up not doing anything. So don't be that person. You need to be able to just really, really jump on it right now. There's no time like now. Today's the day that counts. Now is the day that counts. Yes. So again, if you're just coming in, you're inside Faith Matters with me. And I started off with King of My Heart. Because Brother Dwayne had requested that I play one of my songs. It's a cover that I did last year or 2 years ago. I don't even remember. But I wanted to play that specifically for him because he asked for it. So that was King of My Heart. Especially for Brother D. Hopefully you're on and you're listening, or you heard it when it came on. But that was for you, Brother D. It was such a great surprise, such a sweet surprise seeing him yesterday. I'm just happy they were able to make it here safely. So jumping into it, if you're just coming in, my holidays, I'm going to run through them quickly. There's not a lot, but of course we know that I always like to share like fun holidays, things that we know about, some that we don't really know about. Oh, great, Rhonda. That's great. What's your script about? Do share. It's fine as long as you start it. I think the thing is it's not about being able to finish the whole thing. I mean, it's good to start something and finish, but I think and that's what I always talk about and share about quite a bit is it's not really getting to that end goal or at the end result that matters the most, but it's the fact that you started. Just starting that journey in itself, to me, is a victory. Starting that journey in itself says that I'm not where I was yesterday, or if I've made that decision. I've made up my mind to take that step. And for you to take that step and start on that script, I think that's huge. That's something that you need to pat yourself on the back for, because it's extremely important for us to recognize and really appreciate. I talk about appreciating the process, appreciating the steps that we take towards achieving those goals. So your goal is to get that, to get the entire thing done. But of course, the victory now is the fact that you've initiated that process, you've started that journey, and it's something a lot of people are not able to. So I applaud you for that. Congratulations on that, and let's get it going. So before you know it, you get to the end of it. That's super exciting. It's a comedy. Can't wait to for when it's done. But just appreciate the process. Pat yourself on the back and say, yes, I'm doing great so far. I'm not where I was yesterday. Just so even if you're able to just write a half a page a day or just a page a day, set those goals for yourself, or just make those make that commitment to yourself. You owe that to yourself to say, I've started and I'm going to keep going, because that's what really matters. Super proud of you. Keep going at it. And you're going to definitely, see to the end. Definitely rooting for you. Congratulations on that. It's the process, people. It's a process that counts. It's not seeing that gigantic or humongous goal come to fruition, but just the fact that you're able to take that step that you didn't take yesterday. So that's something to really be proud of and just pat yourself on the back for. Okay. So my holidays, of course, first off, I'm just going to throw this out there because it's my mom's birthday. So a shout out, huge shout out to my mom for her birthday today. She's a year older today, and I'm so grateful to God for her life and for all that He's doing in her life. I'm so grateful to God that she's my mom. She's my rock. She's my everything. I'm who I am today because of her. And so I'm sending her love. I'm sending her best wishes. I'm sending her hugs and all of that. I miss her so much. I'm sad that I'm not with her today, but I'm grateful for her health. I'm grateful for all that God is doing in her life. So just wanted to send a shout out to my mom for her birthday today. So mommy, happy birthday. I love you, love you, love you. I know you're having fun with Olivia right now, but love you. So it's my mom's birthday. That's a special, special day, 23rd of October. Event Organizers Day, Canning Day, Crocs Day. I'm not a huge fan of Crocs. I don't know why people love them. They say they're super comfortable. Maybe they are, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't. My kids love them, and they would probably sleep in them if they could, but I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I don't love Crocs. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I know a lot of people love them, but I don't. It's iPod Day today as well. I haven't heard about iPods for a long time because nowadays you just have our iPhones and our iPads and all of that. Haven't really heard about iPods in a while, but they're still making them. Apparently, they're still making them. So today's iPod Day. It's slap. I'm just giving all of these holidays are just for information's sake. So the next one I'm going to say, it's just for information's sake. Don't go saying Mnena said. No, Mnena is only giving the information. So today is Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. Just giving the information. That's got to be one of the weird ones. Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. So if you've got an irritating coworker, you could just run with that and be like, okay, today's the day where you get to get those slaps. Oh my gosh, that's a weird one. But yeah, don't go doing it. Please don't quote me. Don't go say Mnena said. No, I didn't say. I'm only giving the information. It's Paralegal Day. It's also TV talk show host day as well. I know. So sad for remote workers. Yep. Tuesday tomorrow is 40-hour work week day, is National Crazy Day. And I mean, in our world today, there's a lot of crazies out there. So I guess this is kind of like an everyday thing. Sounds like an HR holiday. That's right. Sounds like an HR holiday. That's true. That is true. It's National Crazy Day. There's a lot of crazies out there. So we're celebrating all the crazies. Embrace your craziness tomorrow. Take your time back. Take your time back. I think I like this one because it's almost like, when you feel like you've wasted time, say for instance, you weren't really productive today, but then tomorrow you're like, you know what? I did not use my time wisely yesterday, but today I'm going to do this. So let's do that tomorrow. If you're being honest with yourself and you know that you did not use your time wisely today, tomorrow is the day to take your time back. Tomorrow is the time to take your time back. I wonder how that works when you're married. Oh my gosh. That is true. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. That's an interesting holiday. I think we can actually make a whole show out of that one. Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. That's a food for thought, Sister Annie. If you're married to your coworker. Yep. Nowadays, I don't know if it's politically correct to say crazy, but I mean, it is what it is what it is. I don't know. I just don't have a filter. I'm not looking to be politically correct at this point. So, it's also World Polio Day tomorrow, World Development Information Day. It's Food Day. It's Lung Health Day. I think this is important. It's important to take care of our lungs. It's important to take care of our lungs. Well, when I say the crazy, I mean, it's not like the mental. We're still in Mental Awareness Month. I'm still going to touch on that. But there's just a lot of crazies out there. it's not mental awareness day per se. Well, if you're trying, yeah, I see what you're trying to do there. Under, yeah, we're being politically correct today. So yes, mental awareness day. I think it should be every single day, actually. It's greasy food day. Not giving you a pass to go, fill up on greasy food, but Wednesday, if you've been craving greasy food, Wednesday is the day to go nuts with it. Okay. Again, I'm just giving the information out. I'm not saying go eat all of that greasy stuff, but you should kind of do it if you if you're craving that. I Care About You Day is also on Wednesday. This should be every single day. Like, we care about each other. We show each other how we show one another how much we care and things like that. So I Care About You Day. I vote for this being an everyday and everyday and everyday holiday. I own an air fryer. Does that count? Yes, an air fryer counts. I think an air fryer counts, but you're not going to get a lot of grease in the air fryer, so that should count. You can cheat. You can cheat that way. It's World Pasta Day as well. If you love pasta, it's Pizza Maker Day. We're celebrating all the pizza makers out there on Wednesday. It's National Day of the Deployed on Thursday, so shout out to all those who are deployed. Shout out to all those who are deployed. DeMario out there. Of course, I think that's our sister Nisha's son, deployed over there. Minced Meat Day. If you love minced meat, knock yourself out on Thursday. It's Mule Day, Pumpkin Day, Vote Early Day. And of course, Friday again. There's something about cranky workers or annoying or irritating workers. But on Friday, it's Cranky Coworkers Day. So maybe you have a cranky coworker. Friday is a day that you get to Okay, here let's see how this plays out. So Friday is Cranky Coworkers Day, right? So if you have a cranky coworker, I think that's a day where you kind of just really get under their skin. So I'm thinking if you do this, then you will probably be on the receiving side of that first holiday, today's holiday that we're talking about, having the irritating coworker day. So to the cranky coworker, you might be the irritating one who might be on the receiving end of that other thing. So just, yes, I said Mule Day. Every day, there's a day for everything. There's a day for everything, which is fun because that's why I share it. It's just all the weird holidays that are out there that we had no idea. So there's a day for mules. They share the same day with pumpkins. It's also Breadstick Day. If you love breadsticks, it's Potato Day. And of course, rounding off the week will be Occupational Therapy Day. So shout out to all those out there who are in that profession, occupational therapy. So again, I don't know how you celebrate the Mule Day. Very good question. Very good question. I guess you research about them. I don't know if they eat them. I mean, I guess there's probably a culture that eats mules. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a day to like go find a mule to eat or go ride one. I don't know. I really don't know how to celebrate that. But it's just one of the weird holidays out there. It's one of the weird holidays out there. So again, touching on, if you're just coming in, Faith Matters with me, Mnena. If you came in on us talking about mules and you're wondering what is she talking about, that's just a little segment where I share the weird holidays that sometimes we know of, sometimes we do not know about. But I just pass the information on for you to run with because I just think it's fun to run with it and do whatever you please with it. Mental Health Awareness Month. We are still in October. We're still in October. October is going by really quickly. But we're still going to be talking about it. I think this should be an everyday thing that we really need to keep talking about mental health. There's just I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be cake involved. There should be cake involved in that as well. We need to talk more about this because a lot of people are suffering from this, but there's just so much stigma attached to it that we're not doing good of a job in just really creating awareness on that. So we're gonna touch more on it as time goes on. But are you feeling down? Are you feeling depleted? Are you feeling out of it? Are you feeling not yourself, not your usual self? that's okay. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to remind you that it's okay to feel sometimes not your normal usual self, not to feel, because here's the thing. The enemy doesn't want to see you happy. The enemy is not, the enemy is just out for your destruction. When he sees that you're joyful, you've got life, you're living according to, if you're walking the path that God has laid for you, you're just living life, you're living in Christ. He will do everything he can to throw you off course. He will do everything he can do to just really, really, really pull you down. And so it's important for us to always remember this as we walk this journey, because a lot of times, I mean, I say this all the time in past, and sometimes it seems like, okay, it's going in one ear and it's going out the other, but it's the truth. I think if anything, if anything at all, the enemy comes at us because he knows we're Christian. He knows that we are striving. He knows that we've made up our mind. We've decided that this is a path we're going. He's not going to bother the person who doesn't care about God, who doesn't care about the teachings, who doesn't care about the faith. He's not going to bother that person, because in his mind is like, oh, I've got that one, so I'm not even going to bother with that one. But he will come for you when he knows that you are on the straight and narrow, when he knows that you're trying your very best to live out your faith. And how does it come at you? He throws so many challenges your way. He will throw so many challenges your way, and one way that he tries to come at God's children is to just attack their minds, and to tell them lies, and to make them feel as though, they're not worthy, to pull them into that stage or that state of depression. So sometimes you hear, you see Christians struggling with depression, and you're like, oh, you should not be struggling with depression. You should be very happy. You should be, it's happening, so I'm just here to share and to just maybe just encourage someone out there who's feeling a little down, who's feeling as if they're in that dark place, or they're going or walking down that dark path, and they're feeling as though maybe they've done something wrong, or maybe it's not normal. And something is wrong. That's the enemy is fighting, but you need to recognize and you need to know that we're all in this fight, and it's not a fight that's in the physical. It's a spiritual battle. And so recognizing that first is the initial step to the victory, because you know that it's not of God. You know that that's the enemy attacking your mind and the enemy coming at you. And so once you realize that, then you're better equipped, or you're in a better position to really have a strategy, have a plan of attacking or going or fighting the enemy with that, fighting against that. And sometimes it's like you feel, when you hear somebody's a Christian, and you just expect them to be cheery all the time, expect them to be happy all the time, and as if, okay, nothing's going wrong, or things are always fine. They never have any troubles and things like that. But the troubles come. I think if anything, the troubles, it will come more when you're walking the straight and narrow. And so how do we deal with that? Is it, it's okay. It's okay to feel not yourself. It's okay. It's okay to feel, it's okay for you to feel exhausted. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's okay to feel out of it. There's a book I read once that says, it's okay not to be okay. And I think it's We Are Messengers. I'm not sure if that's the group, but I think it must be We Are Messengers. They have a song that says, maybe it's okay if I'm not okay, because the one who holds the world is holding on to me. So it's us recognizing that we don't have it all together, or we shouldn't have it all together. We're not required to have it all together. And it's okay to not be okay, but to remember and recognize that even though we're not okay, even though we don't have it all together, the one who has the whole world, who has it all together, has us. And so because he has us, we're going to be okay. So how do you get through those days, or how do you get through the time, or how do you deal with those in those moments where you're finding yourself walking down that path, walking or falling into that deep or that dark space? And I don't know about you, but I know that I found myself in that box a few times, because life happens. Life happens. I think I've shared here before of, there was a time where, might have been a few months ago or last year, I forget the exact time, but I had this situation. I got off work. I was just really overwhelmed. There were so many things that were there were so many things that were going on with me, and I remember getting off of work, and I just went back home, and I was just like I was so down. I felt so down. I was like, oh, things are not going right, and I'm just there, just really feeling sorry for myself, having a pity party. And I'm like, oh my goodness, things are not going right. Why am I here at this stage? And I'm still here, and I've been doing this, doing that, and nothing seems to be, to be working. And I remember just feeling so down, and I'm there trying to fix dinner, and it was just really, I wasn't in a good place. But in that moment of me trying to fix dinner, something snapped me out of it, and that was my youngest. I heard his laugh. So I was there, like, just feeling all sorry for myself and feeling all down and gloomy. And then I don't know what, I think he might have been watching something, and he laughed. And when I heard his laughter, I snapped out of it. It was almost as it was just instantaneous. It was almost as if that's what I have. That was God's reminder for me, saying to me, like, listen, I've got you. I've got you. Remembering the things that you have, remembering the blessings that you have, and counting those blessings is a way of just really pulling you back to reality, or snapping you out of that, or pulling you out of that dark place that you're going into. And it's incumbent on us to just always be conscious of the fact that God is always sending us messages. God is always reminding us. He's always talking to us if we only pay attention. If we only open our hearts to receive the messages that He's giving us. Right. Whose music is depressing, Randu? Adele? Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned Adele, but anyways, I when you think about the things and the blessings that He has for you, or He's bestowed on you, then you really snap out of it. So in my case, it was just hearing my son's laughter, just the innocent laughter from a child. It was happy. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. I have it all. I cannot complain. And so in that moment, I started to just really literally count my blessings. Like, I started to name them, like, okay, I have them. They're healthy. They're happy. And happy is the word, because you have a lot of parents out there who have kids who are in the hospital, and they're dealing with certain medical conditions. But here I am. I've got healthy kids. That's something to be grateful for. They don't even have no allergies, nothing. They're just, they're fine. We're not dealing with that. And that's a blessing. So it's just little things like that. So my encouragement to someone out there today is basically, if you're going through something, if you're feeling as if you're in that space that just seems to be growing darker and darker, you're just like in that gloomy state, to just remember to look around, remember to pay attention to the messages that God is sending to you. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with feeling that or feeling down. You have to allow yourself to feel that. You don't want to be in that state of, oh, I'm going to pretend as if it's not happening, or it's wrong for me to acknowledge what I'm feeling, because if I do, then it means I'm not Christian, or if I do, it means I don't trust. That's not the case. Allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling just helps you embrace it. It helps you acknowledge it. Helps you acknowledge it. It helps you just really understand in some ways what you're dealing with or what you're going through. You accept the fact that you're human. You accept the fact that you are not you're not God. You're accepting the frailty, the fact that you're frail and you need God. In my opinion, that's what that's what allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions you're feeling is. It just translates to the fact that, okay, God, I don't have it all together. God, I'm not God. I'm just mere mortal, and I'm solely and wholly and fully, completely dependent on you. That's what allowing yourself to feel that, feel whatever it is you're going through. Because I know that some people are going to try to push it down, try to, fake it. Some people are going to try to pretend as if it's not there. But if you don't accept it, if you don't allow yourself to feel and go through that process that you're going through, then you can't really come out of it stronger, because you're not really even you're not going to deal with it. You're just like pushing it aside. And sometimes when you keep holding things down, when you're just really pressing things down, when it bubbles up to the top without it being really addressed or taken care of, then it just explodes into something that's just really out of control. And so it's important for us to allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling. It's okay not to be okay. If you don't take anything out of here tonight, my hope is that you can take away, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to remain in that spot. It's not okay to remain in that dark place. So while it's okay to feel how you're feeling, while it's okay to accept that you're not okay, while it's okay to accept that, okay, this is where I'm at this moment and this is what I'm feeling, it's not okay to just stay there. It's not okay to just remain in that place, in that dark place. Because you want to take that step. You want to get out of it. You want to grow from there. You don't want to remain in that place, because the longer you stay there, the longer you marinate there, the more the enemy is going to be throwing at you. The more he's going to be throwing in, like it's going to keep expanding. So say you just had like a little drop, like let's just say that was like a blub of black ink, right? That you're sitting right there, and there's just a drop of black ink, just a little blurb. And then before you know it, you're just, okay, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to feel sorry for myself. I'm just going to wallow in self-pity. And you're just there. 1 hour, 2 hours, you give yourself a day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. So the more you sit there, the wider and the bigger that little drop starts to get. It moves from, like a teeny tiny drop, and then it starts expanding and it starts expanding and it starts expanding. And before you know it, like you're just like, it just encompasses, you're like, just covers your entire being. And at that point, it makes it much more harder for you to be able to pull yourself out of it. Or for others it makes it more difficult for others to help you pull yourself out of it, or help pull you out of that blurb that you're in. I know it's easier said than done, but we have to make that resolve within us when we're in that place, or when we're going through something, to say, okay, I'm making this decision that I'm not going to stay in this spot. I'm making this decision that I'm going to fight. I'm making this decision that I'm not going to remain in this dark place that I'm in. I'm making this decision. And that's where it starts. It starts from you making that decision and saying, okay, I don't want to be here. I don't like the way it feels, and I don't want to stay in this place. I don't want to remain in this place. So it's okay for that 1 day or a few hours where you want to just curl up under your covers. You just want to just stay in that spot. But you also have to remember that you are loved in that moment, in those moments, even when you're there. You still need to remember. You still need to pay attention to the love that's around you, to the messages that God is sending to you. And just a quick testimony, because I believe it was on, might have been Friday or Thursday. No, it was Friday. I was feeling really down. Again, for, really no particular reason. It's just a bunch of stuff going on. But I was feeling really down. I went to church and I came back home and I was just like, oh, like in this, I couldn't shake it. I was just like down, down, down. And I let myself go. I let myself cry. And I remember sitting in church and I'm saying to myself, I'm going to go home. This is what I was telling myself. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cry my eyes out. I'm going to cover myself under the sheets and I'm going to stay in bed. I'm going to stay in bed all day until it's time, of course, time to go pick up the boys. But I was like, okay. But that's all. That was my plan. Like I had no plan to use my time wisely. Like my time, my day. This is me in my head in my own little down mood saying, this is my plan. I'm leaving church and I'm going to go home and I'm going to cry and I'm going to feel sorry for myself and just lay in bed. That was the plan. And so I kind of did that. I got home and of course got in bed and I was like sobbing like for the longest. And then of course my boss calls and he's like, "Oh, I've got work for you to do." I was like, "Oh," and so I dragged myself out. And that's you have to pay attention. We need to always pay attention because God will come in so many ways or in different ways that sometimes we don't even know. So that was his first message to me. That was God's first message to me, pulling me out of that situation or that space that I was in. Getting that call from pastor and be like, "Okay, come here. I need you. You got to come get some work done." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I dragged myself out and I came and I came and I did what I was supposed to do. So it pulled me out of that self-pity, pulled me out of that space where I was like, okay, I'm going to just sit here and just, bawl my eyes out the entire day. So I got out of that. But again, I went to a prayer meeting that evening. So mind you, at this point, I'm already feeling like just really down. It was already a down day for me. And then after crying all that, I was just feeling a certain way. I go into that. I go to the prayer meeting and we're in the circle praying. And then all of a sudden, this lady says to me, I don't know why, but God told me to hug you. I'm not sure why, but you need a hug. God said to hug you. And then, then she just gave me this big hug, this bear hug. I lost it. And I lost it in more of a Thanksgiving way, in more of a, oh my gosh, God, you're awesome. Because I know that when I curled up as a little girl under the covers that morning, it felt as though like I remember thinking inside of me, God, wrap your arms around me. That's what I literally said that. I'm like, God, I'm laying in your arms right now. So I'm crying and I'm curled up in a ball on my bed. And then I go to this meeting at night and this lady says to me, he's telling me to hug you. So that was my answer. That was God saying to me, that was just confirmation because I felt that because I knew that even though I was crying and even though I was, curled up like that, because I said, God, I'm in your arms right now. Wrap your arms around me. And he did. But he also, in order to really make it sink in for me, he gave me physical hands. Like he wrapped me through this woman in his arms. And I shared with Sister Keisha the other day because she's always saying to me, God says to hug you. And it was just a testament and a confirmation for that. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's a reminder. Like we always have to pay attention. We always have to see the messages that God and accept them. You need to accept and receive the messages and the answers that God is giving us because they're always around us. They're always around us. So many times we have to just really open our eyes to it. I mean, Rondo, I'm not sure what the circumstances were, and if you maybe felt in that moment, I think you would know if it's meant to be. Your spirit will let you know. Like you'll feel it. You'll know if it's right to accept the hug or not. So I don't think it's a bad thing. If you didn't feel it, then maybe that wasn't the Holy Spirit leading or making wanting that encounter to happen. But in situations where it's God moving, if you're open, if you're attentive, you'll know. You just know. You're going to know and you'll feel it. And so it's important for us to remember that if we're going through things, to always allow ourselves to feel what we're going through, because it's okay. It's okay to feel that. And the only way we can walk through it, work through it, is to just really allow ourselves to go through that pain. And while we're in that pain, is to look around, to pay attention to the messages that God is sending, because He is saying to you in those moments, in those times, in those dark times, that you are loved. I see you. I hear what you're saying to me. And to be honest, I mean, that was my answer. It didn't take away it didn't change the situation that I was in, but it just changed it changed my entire my demeanor. It changed everything for me in a bigger way. Like, I didn't really care about the physical. I still don't care about the physical of it, but I was just so much more in awe of just what it did for me on a spiritual level, because it just assured me again, not that I doubted before, but it just double assured me that God always answers prayers. He hears, He sees everything we're going through. He hears every prayer or every request that we put to Him, and whatever it is, and He always answers. And His answers come in different ways. So for me, my heart was filled with joy, just knowing that my God answered and my God heard me. It showed me that He saw me. Like, He saw me for who I was. He saw me in that moment where I was vulnerable. He saw the tears. He saw me curled up in bed and crying. And He heard me when I was saying to Him, like, God, I'm in your arms right now. Because that's how I really just curled up like that. And I was saying, I know I'm just curling up to you right now, Lord. And you're wrapping your arms around me. I literally said that. And His answer, yes, he was with me in that moment, and I knew it, that He was with me in that moment. But He just reassured me through this woman by just saying, and she's never done, I mean, never ever. We're standing there, and she's in tears, and she's like, I don't know, but He's saying I have to hug you. He's saying I should hug you. And then I lost it because I understood. She didn't understand it, but I understood, and I knew that was for me. And so we have to always be open and pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss it. So paying attention, because God is always sending signs. God is always sending signs. So that's one testimony. Then another one came this morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm going through morning, afternoon, and evening. Good evening, Brother D. Thank you for coming on tonight. I played a song for you earlier, but I don't think you were on at that time. I'll play it again on my way out. So it's always another testimony came this evening, or just God's message to me again came this evening, actually this morning. And again, life's going on. So I'm just like carrying on. And of course, I'm like, I had a few issues with my car, and shut off at me on the highway, and I took it to the dealership, and I'm like, okay, let's get through this, and we're trying to work things out. So I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff today, and I'm like, a little bit overwhelmed. And then I get a random message from someone I didn't even expect to get a message from, and she just said, I'm praying. And she called me by name. And she says, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your strength, and I'm praying for God to give you clarity to make whatever decisions. I mean, she was awfully specific in her prayer for me. And I was like, oh my God. And then she reminded me, and she says, remember that God, God has good plans for you, to give you hope in the future. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it came at the very moment that I needed to hear that. And again, that was my answer, because I had said something, I had prayed in my heart, I said something in my heart, and then I saw that text message come in. And I just said, you know what, God, hands off. You're God, I'm not. I just need to play my own part, which is just being your child, being your obedient child, and just letting you be God, because you came through for me again. And so we need to always, always remember every time that God is with us, and he's helping us, and he's leading us, and he's carrying us on the way. So whatever it is that you're going through, know that he sees you. He sees you. He knows. He understands exactly what it is you're going through. And you're not walking alone. He's holding you. He's holding you through it. He's walking with you in it. And he knows that you're able to come through if you only hold on to him. If you only hold on to him. I heard someone say recently, it's not about my strength. It's definitely not my strength. It's not about how strong I am in holding on to God. That's not the point. I can't rely on my own strength, on my own faith, or just rely on my own, okay, I'm holding on to him, I know him, I trust him, and I'm holding on to, no, that's not what I'm holding on. I'm relying mostly or solely on the fact that he's holding on to me, because I know that when it starts being shaky, I'm going to let go. I mean, I'm going to lose my grip. But I know that even if I let go of my grip, because everything is all shaky, I know that he's holding on to me. And that's what I run with. And that's what I thrive on, thriving on the fact that he's holding on to me, and not the fact that I'm holding on to him. And it's good to hold on to him, but I'm not trusting or relying in the fact that I'm holding on to him. But I'm just really thriving and rejoicing in the fact that he is holding on to me, so that when it all becomes all shaky, when it all gets rough and tumbly and all of that, and when I lose my grip, I have that assurance that he is holding on to me. So just remember that whatever it is you're going through, just look at things. Try to look on the bright side of things. Try to count your blessings. Try as much as you can to just look and see things around you that can bring you joy, can make you laugh. Something again today. At the same time that the whole thing with the text message came, because I'm dealing with that, just being overwhelmed with the car issue. So I'm running out of the house, and it's always good to just really be open, because God has a sense of humor, and it's important for us to always be. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. So I rush out of the house because I was trying to make it to this appointment for the car, and I grab on. I grab on an inactive pair of pants, and I put them on like really quickly. I put on my t-shirt, and boom, I'm out of the house. And I go in. I get there, and of course you get there. They get your key. They're trying to check to see what's going on with the car. So I get out of the car, and I'm trying to put my hands in my pocket. I wanted to put something in my pocket, and I touched the side of my pants, and I'm like, oh. My pants don't have pockets. I'm like, okay, that's strange, because I remember the last time I wore them, they had pockets, but I didn't really think much of it. I didn't think anything about it. So I'm there. I was like, okay, I have pants. I don't have pockets, so I'll just hold my key. And I walked into the dealership, and I'm going around, and I'm talking to the guy and dealing with the other people that I had to deal with. And I'm there for like almost an hour, and I'm walking around the whole place, right? And I get back, they give me the loaner, I get back home. As soon as I get home, I don't even know what happened. I walk into my bedroom, and I'm on the phone with my mom, and then I jump off the couch, and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, I wore my pants backwards. Like my pockets were all in the back. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, that put a smile on my face, I tell you. Like, I mean, that just really, I got a good laugh out of that. And I was so grateful for that. I said, God, I thank you. No, they were not inside out. Like the pockets were in the back. Like I turned them around. Like the pockets. So when I was trying to put my hands in my pockets and I couldn't find my pockets, the pockets were in the back. They were not where they were supposed to be because my pants were on backwards. But that's the joy of life, though. That's the joy of life. I mean, that put a smile on my face. I was embarrassed. I mean, nothing to be embarrassed about because I had no idea what was going on. But I was able to laugh at myself. I was able to laugh at the whole situation because I'm like, people are probably looking at me all weird, like, okay, she has no idea. And probably they're like a little too, they didn't want to embarrass me by saying, oh, well, ma'am, you got your pants on backwards. I'm glad they didn't, so I didn't know. But but that was it. And that's the whole idea. Like we have to be able to laugh at ourselves. We have to find the joys, the little things that bring joy or put smiles in our. I trust me, that changed my whole day. I mean, I had a good laugh, and that was great. So we need to learn to not take ourselves too seriously. We need to learn to just really see the blessings. To me, that's a blessing. I don't know, anybody else might think I'm crazy, but that's a blessing. The fact that I got a kick out of that, that's a blessing. Because I know I've learned, I never, I mean, even before that, I never really take myself seriously anyways. I learned it's okay. I laugh at myself, and that's okay, because life is life. So, but anyways, hopefully you're able to get one or two nuggets and run with tonight. If you can't take away anything, if you don't remember anything, please remember that it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. That's fine. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Allow yourself to go through those emotions. But do not, while it's okay to not be okay, it's not okay to remain in that dark place that you're in that place where you're not happy, in that place where you're just wallowing in self-pity, just having a pity party. It's not okay to stay in that place. It's okay to not be okay, but do not stay in that place. Remember that in those moments, in those times where you feel as though you're lost, you're going through life alone, there's no one for you, there's no one with you, to know that God is with you. And just look around for the signs, look around for the messages that he's sending to you. Look around at the people that he's placed in your path to just encourage you and to remind you that he's there. Look around and see the things that bring a smile on your face. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself, because there's nothing wrong with being silly. There's nothing wrong with being quirky. There's nothing wrong with just being funny. Find something funny about you that you can laugh about. And it's okay not to take yourself so seriously. So on that note, just remember that you are loved. Remember that it's okay to smile. It's okay to laugh. Laugh your way to heaven. That's fine. Laugh your way through your struggles. Laugh your way through your trials. Laughter is the best medicine. And I'm going to keep it at that. So, yeah, thank you all so much for coming on tonight and just spending the time with me again. Like I said, hopefully you're able to take one or two nuggets away and just apply in your lives as you walk this journey, as you walk this path, as you live this life, because it's not an easy road. That's what we're here for. We're here to encourage one another. That's what New Season Gospel FM is about. Through the different programmings and the music that we play, just to lift your spirit, just to encourage you, because, again, it's not an easy road, but it's doable. It's worthwhile. I wouldn't trade it for any other thing. I wouldn't trade it for any other path. I would do it all over again if I had to. Wouldn't want to do it, but I would definitely choose the same path. The path of Christ, and that's the path that just leads to eternal life. And I've made arrangements. I'm still making arrangements to make it there, and I will definitely by His grace get there. So remember, we're called to be Christ's hands and feet 24/7. It's not only a Sunday deal. So make those decisions, make those plans, set those goals for yourself. You only have 69 days left. What can you achieve before the year is out? That's a question to ponder on tonight and for the rest of the week. Join me again next week, same time, same station, and we'll do it all over again, reflecting, and I'll be sharing with you who knows what I might do next week. I don't know. Maybe I probably have my pants on my head. I have no idea. Today they were backwards. Next week might be something else. But trust me, there's going to be something interesting to talk about next week. Thank you again for joining. Yay, thank you, Brother D. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to play another of my songs for you again as we go out. Randu, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Rev, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Sister Marcia, thank you. Sister Annie, Darren, thank you all so much for coming on. For those who I can't tell that are on, I appreciate all of you. Sister Marlene, thank you for coming on. Have a wonderful night. Join us tomorrow. Start off the day with us. Sister Joylette, thank you for coming on. Start off the day with us in the morning. We're going to be in his presence tomorrow, starting at 6:30. That's where we bring all our petitions before our Lord, just to present them to him and to ask him to, in his mercy, to just hear our plea. So again, have a wonderful rest of the night. And I'll catch you guys again next week. God bless you all. Taking us out, Brother D, this one's for you. I need you.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. And Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. So teach my song to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Jesus, you're my hope and stay.